Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about a movie that I really love. It's called Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte. Although this channel is dedicated to beauty, fragrances, and fashion, I've decided to share my love for classic movies as well. After all, Hollywood's iconic stars like Joan Crawford and Bette Davis were the ultimate divas, both on and off screen. Since this channel celebrates beauty, it only makes sense to highlight the glamorous, larger-than-life actresses who define the golden age of Hollywood. So today, I'm diving into one of my favorite classic films. Few films capture the eerie, decaying grandeur of the Old South quite like Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte. Directed by Robert Aldrich, this psychological thriller stars Bette Davis as Charlotte Hollis, a reclusive woman haunted by a gruesome murder from her past. With its mix of suspense, horror, and melodrama, the film remains a chilling classic. But behind the scenes, the drama was just as compelling as what played out on the screen. I first saw Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte when I was 11 years old. It was a rainy day at home, and I couldn't go outside to play. I had just gotten my first pair of roller skates, and I was learning to use them. I was rolling around the house, holding onto the furniture as I went, when I happened to turn on the TV and ended up watching the entire film. I remember seeing it advertised, and I thought it was going to be a horror film. I've always been fascinated by horror films. As a Southerner born and raised in the South, anything with creepy Southern Gothic atmosphere, especially if it starred Bette Davis, sounded like something I had to see. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it did not disappoint me one bit. I've always loved this movie since the first time I saw it, and I still do. Now let's talk about the film itself. Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte was originally intended as a follow-up to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, reuniting Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. Crawford was originally cast as Charlotte's manipulative cousin, Miriam, but behind-the-scenes conflicts led to Crawford leaving the project. Vivien Leigh was also considered for the part of Miriam, but she declined. She reportedly said, "No thank you. I can just about stand looking at Joan Crawford's face at 6 in the morning, but not Bette Davis's." The role of Miriam ultimately went to Olivia de Havilland, a friend of Bette Davis and someone easier for Bette Davis to work with. As the story goes, Davis and de Havilland celebrated Joan's departure from the film. They both reportedly toasted each other with Coca-Cola and sang "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." Olivia de Havilland approached the role of Miriam with a different style than Joan Crawford would have, but her performance was equally compelling. This casting change significantly altered the film's dynamic. While Crawford might have brought her signature icy elegance, de Havilland's portrayal of Miriam is more subtly sinister. She steps away from her usual good girl roles, delivering a performance filled with calculated menace. And I must say that as much as I like Joan Crawford as an actress, I think Olivia de Havilland was better suited for this role. That's just my opinion. The story revolves around Charlotte, an aging Southern belle, living in near isolation in her crumbling Louisiana mansion. Since the brutal murder of her lover decades earlier, she has been plagued by guilt and local gossip. When authorities attempt to seize her home, Charlotte's cousin Miriam arrives, seemingly to help, but as the plot unfolds, dark secrets and betrayals emerge. Bette Davis delivers a powerhouse performance, portraying Charlotte's descent into paranoia with raw intensity. De Havilland's quiet cruelty as Miriam provides a perfect contrast. The supporting cast, including Joseph Cotton and Agnes Moorehead, who steals scenes as the loyal housekeeper, Velma, adds to the film's gothic tension. The film's eerie cinematography, with its shadowy interiors and decaying southern landscapes, enhances the sense of unease. The haunting theme song, sung by Al Martino, sets the tone for the film's tragic and unsettling atmosphere. While Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte may not be as iconic as Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, it stands on its own as a masterfully crafted psychological thriller. The film's blend of horror and melodrama, combined with its behind-the-scenes drama, make it a must-watch for fans of classic Hollywood cinema.